Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Since the last episode... Sorry, this music seems really loud for some reason. Let me just turn the master down a little bit. Okay. Since the last episode, I finished the transport system research, and I've made a couple request depots and a couple of supply depots. There's also a buffer depot, which I assume is kind of a combination of the two, like a buffer chest in the logistics network. Now I haven't set it all up yet though, because number one, I need steel and engines to make the drones. So I've started to make a little bit of steel plate up here. I just need to give it some more iron to keep that going. This is just to get enough that I can craft some drones to begin with. But we'll need to do steel. I really need to get a to-do list going, but we'll need to do steel on a larger scale, of course. The steel requires coke to be made, which takes wood and coal as ingredients, and then it uses coal as a fuel source as well. And then the steel furnaces, they take coke and iron plate to make the steel. And they can also use coke as a fuel. So the coke has a fuel value of 10 megajoules and 225% pollution. So it's more dense than coal, which is 6 megajoules and creates less pollution. And 4 coal and 4 wood make 4 coke. So 1 coal has 6 megajoules, 1 wood 7.25 total fuel value, and you get 10 megajoule fuel value out. So coke is definitely more efficient. All right, so we can start a temporary to-do list here. So we need to do coke. Whoops. We need to do steel. And we need to do wood, which is what I'm going to do today. And then somehow I have to make sure that I keep everything lined up. Give myself room to expand smelting if and when I need it. You know, I really don't know how much iron smelting I need, how much copper smelting I need, and so forth. So it'll be a little bit of a challenge, but I am going to do some sort of a grid structure. Once we unlock the transport system, we can also build road. So up here in this area, I set up a little line where I can make road. The road comes from coal and stone brick. Kind of similar to asphalt, I guess. So here I'm making the stone brick, since I had stone and a line of coal already here. We'll move this eventually to some other area. At some point, I'd like to just get all these resources belted in over here where they get processed so that things aren't so spread out. Okay, so here I'm making the road. You get 10 pieces of road, 10 tiles for 10 coal and 10 brick. And then they're just collecting in these chests. I'm assuming that I'm going to need a lot of it at some point. So, as a matter of fact, I should probably double up my brick production so that we can make this go faster. There we go. Thank goodness for those bots. That does cover up our iron patch a little bit, but I've been informed that the miners can mine underneath buildings or underneath structures, which I guess would only be belts. So let's do a little experiment here. We'll cover up some of that ore with belts and see if they get it all out. I can see that this guy is mining underneath it, so that's cool. And let's put that there too to see if it mines underneath an assembly machine as an experiment. If they do mine under there, I'm not going to be terribly happy about it because it's not realistic. But of course, neither is having all these tiny little men running around mining things. So I guess I shouldn't be too terribly picky about it. I need more stone. Okay, so let's do this. What if I do that? No, that's no good. What I want to do is have 2 lanes. Okay. I know what I can do. There we go. Okay, so up here we're still making glass for greenhouses and things. I did craft 28 greenhouses already. And here we can do that. There. Okay, so now we got a belt of stone brick. And then what I've done here is I just put a splitter with priority going to the road maker, and then after that any excess that's left over will come into these chests. So I have stone brick as well in case I need just plain old stone brick for other things. Okay. All right, so back here in the main base, like I said, I've started to replace some of the stone path with brick, and I put some supply depots, one for iron and one for copper so far, and then I'm just pulling out of the depot onto this little start of a bus that I've made previously. And what I want to do today is start to automate wood production. Okay, so let me pick this up now. And I think I should leave room. I think I should leave room in my grid for a small bus. I guess the first thing would be to figure out how big the grid should be. And I think it should probably be at least big enough to to contain these smelting lines. And it would help if I could do large power poles. Let's go ahead and research that. Okay. I stopped queuing up the research just because there's a lot of new research included in the mod, and I didn't want all this research getting done and just escaping notice, because I want to be aware of every new technology that I unlock, so that I know what it is. Like for example, I've already unlocked electrolysis and filtration and oil refineries and stuff, and I didn't really take notice of what that allows me to do. So this way I'll be more aware of what abilities I'm gaining as we progress. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get the large power poles unlocked so that I can measure how many large power pole lengths I can get that will cover at least the length of a smelting line. And then we can design the grid and start to lay that out, and then I can decide where to put my wood processing. So let's just wait for that research to finish. We can check what I'm going to need to make it. Steel beams. Can I make steel beams? Once I have steel plate, I can. Okay, so let's start crafting some steel beams while we wait. Okay, and the greenhouses themselves, they have a recipe you select, and the only ingredient is water. So that makes it very easy to produce. I'll make an offshore pump. I'm going to get one of my wind turbines that I made previously, so I can use that to power the pump. And I should probably start making some pipe as well. Let me get some more iron plate. Okay, in the meantime, the science is running pretty well. I put the shelter over here just so I have a place to store things that I don't need to use right away. And get away from this area. Once I get this unlocked, the other thing I notice is that I have the capability to research radar, so I think I will queue up radar next. The rest of the stuff I think is just typical stuff. We could do lab research speed after that, perhaps. And then we'll take stock of what else there is and decide what we need next to continue our progression. And we could always throw down some more labs too. Let's make 6 more labs, since it seems that we're... Well, of course I had the belts. I had the belts backed up a little bit because I stopped research for a while, so... I may not necessarily have excess lab capacity. Let me just hold off on the belts. Okay. Come on, electrical energy distribution. And the main reason I want to get radar going is because I'm kind of worried about biters. Remember, I have that Armoured Biters mod installed, which means that they're probably going to be harder to kill. And I haven't seen any yet, but I want to make sure that I'm prepared for the attacks when they do come. Okay, So now I can make a handful of big electric poles. Let's just, oh no, let's not make that many. Okay. I'm not sure what the distance is on these. Okay, so let's say we go there. Yeah, the reach, it says 32.25. What does that mean? I wonder if that's the same. Okay, looks like that's a little bit longer than vanilla. 2 tiles longer than vanilla. Okay, so would that be large enough? No. Okay, so if we make the grids 4, we can make the grids 4x4 power poles. Right, and that'll be more than large enough to hold a smelting line. Okay, so let's lay this out here. I'm going to get more stone brick so we can build one and then blueprint it. I'll just grab as much as I can carry. I need to get rid of this excess wood. Okay. And I'll change the priority for a little while so I can replenish those chests. Okay. Do I want the pole to be right up against... I probably don't want it to be... Well, do I want the pole to be right up against a path like this? See, the problem if I do that, I think I need to leave at least one more space. Like that. That way I can jump it. Okay, so let's deconstruct those. Okay, so there's 2, 3, and 4. And let's see how many tiles I have in between. That's 30. 31, 32 would be the exact distance from center to center. So 16 would be the middle. Okay, so that's going to be like the center of this 4-pole, or this 2-pole distance. Okay. All right, and I think we'll just use this intersection here as the basis for the initial grid. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. I can extend this one to get to the other side. Okay, 1, 2. That's a strange noise. Oh, and the drones go faster on stone as well. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. wonder if 4x4 is going to be too big. I think 4x4 is going to be too big. Three spans. What if I do them 2x2 and I can make some twice as wide for big setups like this? Or 3x3 poles, right? Two pole spans instead of 3. Well, but then a double is going to be, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like 3 pole spans is too big. Even 2 is pretty big. All right. Yeah, so let's make the standard size 2x2. Except for smelting. Or maybe we can. Yeah, see, 2x2 is a little bit too small for smelting. It wouldn't really leave enough room to run my fuel lines and to place depots. Because ideally what I'd like to have is room on the ends for a supply depot and a request depot. And then also have room for my fuel to come in. Yeah, so 2 is too small for smelting. But I think 2 will be fine for everything else. Okay, so I'll leave it as 3 for the smelting area. And then everything else we'll do it 2x2. So let's build it here. Okay, so that's where the first pole goes. One and 2. And I should really be doing this. I should be doing this with road instead of brick. Let's get the next research going. We can do the next level of drone speed and drone productivity. Okay. I need to make some space. What can I put away? Alright, the fluid depot I don't need right now. And I don't need stone furnaces. Okay. One more. Okay. Alright, let's make that radar. And let's make heavy armor. Oh no, wait a minute. Ah, crud. I already made the light armor. I didn't realize that it would use light armor as an ingredient. Thankfully, it does. I think it should always in the vanilla game too. Okay. Perfect. And a few more of those, please. Okay. There's my grid. Should we include lights? I think not. All right, let's get all the stone out of there. Trees are cleared already. Okay, now I feel like I should leave. I feel like I should leave at least some space for belts in case there are things that I don't want to use the transport system for. So maybe this center part of the grid I'll leave empty. Just for belts. Or maybe the center portion should be one span instead of two. I think that's better. Okay, so first let's make a blueprint of my grid. Okay, I want to include tiles, and the only entities I want are power poles and road, and I don't want that. And I don't want that. How does that look? Almost. Okay. Let's give it a name. Road grid. Save. Okay, great. And then let's change the icon to something more meaningful. Okay. And I'll put that down here in my hotbar. Okay, and now this will be the central portion. Okay, so I'm going to have to pick this up, and I'm going to have to pick up all of this road. I wonder how my bots would do with this. Okay, that is faster. I wonder if I can make more of those guys, by the way. Yes, I can. Okay. So then the grid below would go right here. And this is where we're going to make our wood, which is conveniently close to water. Speaking of wood, let's get rid of all of it that is here already. Let's make some more of those drones. They only stack in 10s, so I don't want to go crazy yet until I get more inventory space. Modular armor. Should we fast track towards modular armor? That'll give me inventory size. That seems like a good idea. So we need plastics, silicon processing, advanced electronics, and then we can do modular armor. Okay. And apparently I can't destroy chests. That's disappointing. Okay. So this is where wood will go. Let's bring in our water. Well, first let's lay out the greenhouses. Now I made 28 just because I had 28 to begin with. Water is the only ingredient. Eight. That looks approximately centered. Let's put a supply depot. I can do 3 columns of 8. I suppose we should just make the supply depot fairly centralized. Right there, so we can feed them all into there. Okay, so these will make wood. And I think you can give it water in one place and have it feed to the others. Right, so if I link up 2 like that, we should be good. And then we can do another set. How many tiles is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's do another row of them there. Okay, and let's go grab some glass so I can make a few more. And that gives me room to make, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and make another. We might as well fill in the space while we're at it. And then I'll recenter it. So I'm going to need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. I need 20 more. Or 20 more of those. So I need 400 pieces of glass. And no, 400 pieces of glass. 20 times 20 is 400. Yeah, and 400 wood. So 2 stacks of wood and 2 stacks of glass. And I have more wood over here too. There we go. 20 more. Okay. So yeah, they can mine under belts. All right. So I'm going to make a better effort here to center these. One, two. I'll do it right like that. Okay, now I have some pipe. Oh, wonderful. How awesome is that? There. Okay, yeah, and these are all getting water. Now this is going to make 40 wood every 60 seconds rather, which is less than 1 per second. So a single inserter on the output will be sufficient. Okay, here comes our first batch. Okay. And I don't need that one. Okay, these pipes are graphical only. They don't actually do anything, apparently. Okay. And hopefully this will be all the wood that we ever need. I do need more power. Okay. So we can this up, I'll put the wood over here into the depot. And then I'll start moving all this wood down here into the depot as well. And then replacing these wood feeds with belts from here until we get to the point that we can run the transport system. The other thing I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier when I started kind of talking about the transport system is that we will need fuel for the transport drones to work, and the fuel is petroleum. So we're going to have to be doing refining before we'll be able to get the transport system running. So I'm just kind of setting up so that we have infrastructure for it right now, and then as soon as we can get petroleum going, then we can actually start to use it. Okay, I came over here for something. Oh yeah, for power. What did I make? 4 and 8. Oops. Someone had asked earlier why I'm using 2 power poles here, and that's why, because I wanted to replace the burner inserters with regular yellow ones. I wonder if I can make more. How many have I got here now? That's 12. Yeah, let's make 8 more. 8. And then 5, 10, 15, 16. And then another handful of pipes. All right, so we'll just build up a full line. And you can see I've already placed some turrets here for protection, just in case. I'll add a couple more just to be safe. There. And I think I'll put down our first radar over here. All right, and the radar now will start scanning the sectors that we haven't explored yet. Okay, so we can delete wood. That's done now. And I'll need to get another radar over there someplace. So let's craft another one of those. I'll craft another handful of turrets as well. And then I just have to wait for the rest of these steam engines to finish. But I don't need to hold you up while I do that. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Gotten lots of great feedback so far. Hope you're all enjoying the series, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.